Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Good.
All right. I'm Susannah Johnson Malbreaux, owner publisher of the Southern View magazine, and we're conducting an interview which I haven't done in 2 years, but I have with me Miss Emilie Duhon, who is a candidate for Lafayette Parish School Board District 3. We're going to ask her a few questions and then let her tell us why and why we should vote for her. Okay, Ms. Duhon, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, let's get started with the interview. First off, tell the viewing audience a little bit about Emilie Duhon.
As she said, my name is Emilie Duhon, and I am a lifelong resident of Lafayette. I attended public schools my entire life. I grew up in the Malbreaux subdivision area, which is just right here down the street off of University. I attended 2 of the 4 schools that I will represent. I attended Truman Elementary and also J. Wallace James. I can remember my class was the first to ever walk on the campus of J. Wallace James.
Wow,
from Saint Antoine School, the house school, yes. And the other 2 schools that I'll be representing is going to be Live Oak and Alice Boucher. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business, Magnolia's Home Care, for the last 18 plus years. And what we do is we provide services to the elderly, disabled, and the veterans in their homes so that they can be prevented from being institutionalized.
Okay.
It's a very rewarding job, and I've enjoyed doing it. I do employ 99% of my employees are single moms. So I know their challenges. I can hear their challenges with their school kids of either the buses are not coming, or there's no school today because of the weather, and what do I do, and simply how do I keep my time and still take care of the kids. So I hear their challenges. I'm a wife, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. And my concern is our grandkids and their education, because they are the future.
Yeah, that's basically what you say here. The children are our future.
Correct, they are.
And they really, really are.
They are, yes. Yes, they're going to be our next bus driver or chef. They're going to be our next IT person,
maintenance supervisor, teacher, principal, superintendent.
The sky's their limit if they are put on the right path.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, that brings us to, pretty much said, that, but why do you want to run for school board?
At this time, I'm very passionate about the education of our children. Several years ago, when I found out that cursive was taken out of school,
what?
I was appalled. I'm like, so they don't teach this anymore. So if I or you want to write a note to your grandkids, then they can't read it.
Wow.
It's like they would be illiterate to what we learn.
Wow.
Now my understanding is they're supposed to be bringing it back, and I wish they do, because that's a lost art.
Yeah, it is.
And it's very important, because it would be like our grandmothers, because we grew up together, our grandmothers speaking Creole and them not wanting us to learn it. So now it's a lost, it's a lost
that is something that I don't know, it's like second nature to us.
Right.
Writing in cursive.
Exactly. I mean, who doesn't write in cursive? Well, the kids of today. So, yeah. And that sparked my interest. Also being in the organization of WOW, Women of Wisdom. They are also partner with Love Our Schools, and they form cafes, which is community and family engagement. And they're at different schools. They're not at all the schools at this point in time, but they're connected to quite a number of the schools, and they're trying to just get into the schools and give our help to the principal and the school itself.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good.
Thank
Pretty
you.
good reason. What's the one thing you'd like to implement on the school board?
Trust and fairness. Trust and fairness. We will be 9 people. My vote is only 1 vote.
Right.
However, if we gain the trust that we need amongst the 9, then we can do our voting for all the districts.
But, you know, most of the school board members think of their district. That's a priority to them. You know, so you're wanting to build that trust. How do you feel that would be accepted to the other members?
The present school board, I feel that they have this relationship, that they're getting things done. And so if that can continues with the new board members that are coming in, I can only see it getting better, rather than falling back.
Okay. Can you share your thoughts regarding Title I funds?
Okay, Title I. Speaking to previous and past educators and the research that I've done, which is little, but I think I have an understanding. Title I is funds that is granted to the schools that are underserving or below average, okay? And so the funds come through the federal government, and each child has a price on their teachings. Last, when I did my research, October 21, each child, to teach a child in the state of Louisiana, it was pretty much between maybe 13,000, a little under 14,000. So the Title I's funds times each child that is in the system. The money is in a pot, and then it's distributed to the schools that are underprivileged and are underserved. And the monies can be used for different things. It can be used for mentoring, it can be used for tutoring, it can be used for computers, a marquee for the school, parent engagement, parent and child engagement, Saturday tutoring. It can be used for various things, and each school doesn't get the same amount.
Right. Because that depends on
The amount of kids that they have in the school, right? And what the need is.
You know, it made me think of something. I just thought about it. Why maybe a lot of our kids are below average, undeserving, not getting the education they need, because the school wants that money.
Correct.
You know, so they are probably purposely not teaching our kids, and our kids fall within that category, and if it's 13,000 or whatever, they get it. You know, I mean, that's what I see.
Well, it could be that, but we don't want to believe that it's that, okay? It can also be that the other schools that are prospering, that get Title I, they're in better, I don't want to say better condition, but they're above the schools that are low performing. It is a possibility that the seasoned teachers are wanting to be where it's
Where the
schools are performing
better.
higher. And so where the low performing is, it could be where our teachers are fresh, brand new, smack out of college. Only teachings they had was possibly their student teaching, and they go to underprivileged schools to begin their teaching career. And it can go both ways because new teachers have to learn, kids who've been in school forever have their ways of doing things, maybe not following the rules, or, you know, like some teachers who teach just for the summers off to be with their families. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. It's probably not everybody's out, you know, but until I get in there and understand and learn, you know, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
You know, our kids are being left behind. For what reason, we're not sure yet.
Yeah, it's worth finding out.
It is much
That's something
work.
I have to work on, okay?
Yes.
I'm not gonna put that on you as a school board member. For me, as a private citizen, I'll go out there and I'll investigate. So, with the recent shortage of teachers, how do you feel about hiring teachers with an associate's degree versus a master's degree?
Everybody has to start somewhere. I believe if you have taken the time in your life to get an associate degree, life happens. Maybe you can't finish because of something, you have to take care of an aging parent, or you have to move, or your spouse gets another job. Different things happen. So I believe the opportunity for an associate degree person should be open and it should be accepted. Now, I would like to that hopefully the system mandates that you have 3 to 4 years to get your bachelor's,
Right.
your master's, and your certification. Within those 3 to 4 years, without stopping, then you become a certified teacher. What incentives they have? Are they going to take care of your educational debt? That can be put on the table. But if it's going to bring out good teachers and positive teachers, I think that is something that should be pursued.
Okay. Well, that's good because what happens now if you have a teacher with an associate, or rather a person with an associate's degree who's interested in teaching and they've started the program, what happens if they move to another city, another state? Does that carry with them?
Life happens. So I would say if they just bluntly drop out, then no, that's your baby to take care of. But with life happening the way it is, I would hope that the university would use their transfer system that they use for any other transfers that's coming in or going out, because a particular person may have to leave again to take care of an aging parent or a job. Their spouse got a job offer. So depending upon what the reasons are, I would hope that the university would use their transferring system that they have in place now.
Okay. So let me just ask, I don't know if it's really related to this, but with the teachers out there, do they have a choice of the grade level that they end up teaching, like kindergarten, first grade, high school students? Do the teachers, how do they determine that?
That is not something that I really can answer on because I'm not sure. I know listening to educators, their certification puts them at a certain level as to K through 3 or maybe middle school. Their certification may put them through junior high to high school. I'm really not sure what is the level that they can teach at with their certification or master's.
Well, I know you would think that to maybe teach a kindergarten or a pre-K, that you could probably, in fact, I was at Live Oak, and one of the teachers said, well, Miss Susannah, would you really be interested in teaching our kindergarten? I said, well, I'm not certified. She said, well, it doesn't take that much. But then maybe it still does. So even if you're teaching kindergarten, you still have to have that certification and a master's degree.
Now, years ago, there was a few ladies that I know that worked for the Lafayette Parish school system as aides, as they called them back then, in kindergarten. This type of program was offered to them. I know several women who took this offer, and at the end of their 2 years, which I'm sure was an associate degree, they were able to teach only kindergarten. Okay, so if they wanted to pursue anything after that, I'm not sure if the program paid for their schooling, or if the next 2 years and the certification was on them. But it did give them an opportunity to get a step above an aide, and it allowed the school system to hire teachers for kindergarten.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Why should the residents of District 3 vote for you?
Because I'm the best candidate. I am the candidate for School Board District 3.
Okay.
I'm passionate.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm passionate about the education of our children. We really need to take the time to learn and listen to our students. Sometimes we give them the opportunity to make a decision, and sometimes we want to come back and act like parents. Our kids are far from unknowledgeable about the rules and regulations of the school system.
Right.
I believe if we sit and talk to them and ask them, what exactly is it that would make your day at school more comfortable and more teachable for the teachers, or, you know, what exactly are you all looking for? And I believe if we stop and listen to them, we can learn a few things. We can learn a few things because our kids today are much smarter than we were, and they have more opportunities than we had. You know, had I had the opportunity to go to college while working online, I believe I'd have had a degree. But choosing the role to be a wife and motherhood and working, just didn't have the time was not there, you know. You and I were both in the banking business. We got certifications, you know, through the bank. And it was only for financing, right? Okay. But it was still an opportunity to learn. It was still continuing education.
Continuing education.
Yes.
We're still learning, you know, more and more, you know, that we learn and got to use a lot of that, you know, along the way.
Yes, we didn't know God's plan because everything that He taught us, good and bad, it comes back to play in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knew I'd be interviewing you right now?
Up for Lafayette Parish School Board District 3.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. We've had a very interesting interview with Miss Emilie Duhon. I'm going to step away so I can turn on the camera because it's a one-man show. But I just want to remind you that early voting starts September 30th to October 7th, and the election is October 14th in 2023. So, and also, you've got your website here.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
www.electemilieduhon.com, And if folks want to follow you, they can follow you on Facebook, Team Emilie Lewis, Duhon, District 3, or they can email you, but you can find out more information about Emilie. But I'll give you a chance to have some closing comments, so thank you so much.
Thank you for interviewing me.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So I believe that every voter should do their research on the candidate before voting. Voting is very important. We've had people killed, we've had people washed with water hoses, we've had people chased with dogs to keep them away from voting. Voting is a privilege that we should be able to use and have the opportunity to cast our thoughts and our opinions. And voting is the only way that we can do that. I believe that I'm the best candidate for the seat of District 3 for the Lafayette Parish School Board, and my interests and my passion are the children, qualified and loving teachers, adequate bus drivers who will have the well-being and the safety of our children daily for transportation. Don't forget, voting date is October 14th, 2023. I would appreciate your support. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for the time that Ms. Susannah Malbreaux Johnson has taken to allow me to talk to you on the social media world. Thank you so much, and vote number 104 on October 14th.